Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to help support this channel, it won't cost you anything. All you got to do is use the links in the description if you want to get any of these products that I use for yourself. Today, I'm going to show you my second oil change on a 2021 RAV4. And you heard that right. It is a 2021. We are now in 2024, and it's only got 3,672 miles. A little dirty right now from the pollen. Got to get cleaned up. Gas cap opener. And over here is the hood. So once you pull that up, you find the Toyota badge in the middle, straight ahead, right behind it. Go right here. And basically, there's a hood latch right where my thumb is. And you just pull it from right to left like this. And then push it off. So yeah, that's the latch. And once you pull the hood up, you're just going to grab that bar. Just lift the hood up high enough to be able to swing this bar from here, swing it down here, and put it in the hole. A ton of pollen right now. It's very bad in Jersey over here where I'm at. This is your oil fill cap. That's your dipstick. I got a big flat pan on the bottom, 3/8 ratchet, 14mm socket. This actually screws right into the top to fill the oil. So an oil fill screw-in funnel. You shouldn't need an oil filter removal tool like I have for the old oil filters. If you're really in a pinch, like this is something that is really good for taking off old oil filters that are stuck on too well. So basically you need your oil tray. I have a big metal tray just in case anything drips underneath. I got a screw-in oil filler. You could use this to remove the old oil filter if it's in too tight. Got a 3/8 ratchet with a 14mm socket. New oil, which is 0W-16, and you need a new filter. I use Mobil1 filters. Got a Mobil1 M1 103A filter. Mobil1 Advanced Fuel Economy 0W-16, and I'm actually going to be using 20% Marvel Mystery Oil in place of this to go with it. Turns out this engine actually takes 4.4 quarts without the filter and 4.8 with the filter. So the first thing you want to do, unscrew this and just leave this on the top so it breathes. Just gives air to go through to help it drain a little bit quicker. Under the car right now, this is the easiest way to do this. Here, right in the front, watch out if you got headphones. A little bit to the right of the center of the car. Now this guy will drop down. That is the oil drain bolt right there. And you can see it's got a little bit of a blue washer in between that and the car. So we're gonna need to replace that washer. An oil drain crush washer. And I got some of those from Toyota. So grab one of those before you start the job. Your oil drain bolt right there. There it is. So bring it back. So as you can see, we got 3 little 10mm bolts. Basically just took this plastic cover on the bottom and just kind of pushed it that way to get it out of the way because I want to be able to get the oil pan underneath it. And this kind of gets in the way a little bit. Just gonna put the oil pan down there underneath it. Right, hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing right now. There it goes. So there is the oil. And it looks like the blue washer just got stuck to the bottom of the oil pan, so we can just take that out later, but that's what it looks like, starting to drain. So I screwed in the oil filler, and it actually is screwed right into the top of the engine block. It's gonna make it a lot easier to pour the oil in. I took the drain bolt off the bottom, cleaned it all up, put a brand new crush washer on it. So basically you just gotta get under the car, screw this back in, and tighten it up by hand. Paper towel under there. Either use your fingernail if it won't come off, just get a small flathead with a paper towel or a shop towel, just to kind of get a little bit of that oil off. Make sure it's got the new crush washer on it. If you can see that, flip your ratchet to tighten. Get the oil pan out of here, out of the way. Give it a quarter turn, and once it's really tight, just give it a little bit. That's it. Just hand tight. You don't have to go crazy. You have to take your 14mm socket off. A really good filter tool over here. It's a Motiv-X. Love their products. Absolutely amazing. Smaller than some of the other ones. It actually got a really small one here, a thin one. This one's a little bit thicker, but it is over here on the right side. So it's very, very hard to see this. Here, this is the front where I was showing you before. This is the first bolt I took off before. This is the front of the opening of the car. That is where the oil filter is. Your filter tool. Put it on like this, okay, and crank it off. So we're going lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, and that will help you get it started. And once it's started, you can kind of do it by hand. So we're just gonna get this out of the way. Really difficult to do. I'm gonna get soaked here in a second, but there it is. So it's starting to come down. Just make sure you're wearing gloves. unless you like getting bathed in oil. So I'm turning it by hand like this, just slowly. And I can feel it coming off. It's about to drop any second. There it is. Dump the oil back into the pan. And this is a Toyota filter, as you can see. Here's the Mobil1 filter that's going to be going in place of it. It's an M1 103A, and it's brand new, as you can see. Just open the oil. Put a little oil in the filter. I would put the oil cap back on. God forbid this tips over. Gonna get some oil, just put it around the edge of the top of the filter on the O-ring. And a lot of people do this with old oil. You should do it with new oil. You don't want old oil in there. You don't want to get it, you know, any kind of dirt or anything on the ring. And it's very hard to get the camera under here to show you where it's going, but that's where it is. Put it on here. Kind of turning it slowly in my hand. Yeah, so it's good. So you can actually see, I'm doing it by hand very, very slowly. This is the new Mobil1 filter, so just want to show you that this is going on. I'm going to do it by hand because it's really hard to film this while I'm doing it. I have the tool on it, and I'm basically just going to give it like a really, really small couple of turns. That was an 1/8 turn. One more 1/8. One more 1/8. So that's it. Taking it off. Ready to button this guy up. This is the front of the car here, so we're just going to kind of get this in place. And let's just push it under. Put the drain bolt back in with the new washer, tightened it up, put the new filter on and tightened it up. Put the 3 bolts back on here. There is 4 altogether, but I only took 3 off, so it bends down a little bit. It's okay, it's not a big deal. Ready to put the oil in. This is a Marvel Mystery Oil. I usually put a quart of this. So if the car takes 5 quarts, I'll put 1 quart of this in and 4 quarts of oil. But since this only takes 4.8 quarts total, I'm only gonna put 28 ounces in. So I basically just filled this up to 28 ounces so I know exactly how much to put in. I think oil should glug when you put it in, right? Something about that sound. One quart, 2 quarts, 3, 4, and this is 5. Instead of going down here, if you weren't putting anything else, just regular oil, you could just literally just keep pouring it till the level gets down to here. But since we already put a quart in of Marvel Mystery Oil, it's gonna be here. So we're gonna be putting like 3.4 in instead of 4.4. Check the dipstick as you're going to be able to see what level you're at, but yeah, just to simplify this, start putting it in. And we can check our level. Got that right almost on the first pour. That's pretty crazy. So I got it right around exactly where I wanted to do it, right? Instead of 4.4, we're doing 3.4. So I could check the dipstick at this point here. Check the dipstick. All right, just clean that off. See where we're at. There's the other dot. There's where the oil level is. You can see it right there. So we're very close to the dot. Gonna put a couple more ounces in. After you do this and you get everything leveled, just start the car for a second. Let it run. A little bit of time to drop down. This way you don't want to run it too long, but you know, you want to fill the filter up. So, oh, perfect. Yeah, so I actually filled it up exactly to the level of the dot. So that's actually perfect. So we're going to put this back in. I'm just going to start it for 1 second very quickly. Just let it run through and fill up the filter. But before I do that, I'm going to really, really quickly just take this guy off. Going to put the cap back on. We're going to put this cap back on the engine. Okay, that's enough. Just want to run the oil through just a little bit for like a second. Put this guy back in, see if we need any more. Yeah, so you could see now it is back down a little bit below exactly where it was before. You can see the line is like right below. There's the dot right there. There's the line of the oil. So as you can see, as I ran it really quickly for a minute, it probably filled up the filter, and that was that little bit that it needed. So I just want to be, you know, thorough, a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So we're going all the way down, all the way to the bottom, then pulling it back up. And right on the money. I have overpoured in the past, so always want to slowly inch your way up to this, or slowly millimeter your way up to this. Right at the line, right there, that's like perfect. Can't get any better than that. So that's where you want it. And typically it's a quart. So if you check your oil, right, you can kind of see where it's wet right there, right at the edge of the dot. If it is at this dot, that means it's usually a quart low. Pretty much on all cars between this dot and that dot, it's a quart between those two dots. So put it back, start it up, and run it. We can take this guy off. We can put our oil cap back on. Make sure you don't cross thread it, and just put it on pretty tight. Don't make it too tight where you can't get it off later on down the road, but also don't make it too loose where it's going to vibrate loose. Take your cap, put it back on the oil. There is the level where I'm at, right? That's how much I got left. So when you finish, if you use the Marvel Mist Oil like I did 28 ounces. So if you use that like the same way I did and drain everything out of the car, you should be around there, a little bit above a quart. So I would keep this container, you know, tightly sealed, and keep it in the back of the car just to keep it with you, because it's very hard to find 0W-16, especially, you know, if you're using Mobil1 synthetic, you might not find the exact one. You know, if you ever have to, you know, in the middle of the night, road trip, and you're looking for a gas station, looking for oil somewhere, it's going to be very hard to find this. I would just keep this in the car if you could. If not, then just get a quart of this. Just buy an extra quart and keep a brand new quart sealed in the car that's 0W-16. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt the car. You know, it's only a quart. It's not too much weight to add to the car. Keep it with you just in case, because like I said, it's very hard to find this exact kind of oil and this exact weight. God forbid you break down the middle of the night, you know, whatever, something happens, you need oil, I would just keep it with you. It can't hurt. So the drain plug with a new washer, tightened up our filter, put all the bolts back on the plastic cover on the bottom, made sure the oil cap is tight, made sure our dipstick is pushed down. Keep this in the car with you in case you ever need it down the road, and you're good to go. Make sure you didn't leave any kind of tools or anything in the car. Give it a once over. I know this is so dirty and I apologize, but I'm probably gonna make a video on how to detail this engine bay just to show you what it'll look like and how to do it easily, but that'll be another video. So all you gotta do, like I said, lift the hood up a little bit, take this guy over here. Sometimes you could just twist this and then turn it. Close the hood, you're good to go. No engine knock, no ticking, no hey, how you doing? Everything is running nice and smooth and quiet, and that's how it should sound. So in case you want to get any of the parts or tools I use in this video, I'll leave links down in the description for everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you do that. Make sure to give me a like if you like this video. If you got any questions or comments, let me know in the section down below. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.